What's up, everybody? Welcome into another edition of Say Hey Plays. My name is Jose Bouquet. Alongside me, an old friend of mine, Andrew Santangelo. Andrew, I'm glad you made it. I'm glad we survived those technical issues. We did it. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing very well. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what those issues were. It was blocking me from going in, but we're in, and that's what matters now, right?
Hey, yeah. We're in. We're rolling. We're on time-ish. And we're ready to go. Shout out to everyone watching. Appreciate you guys, of course. Let's start off with some elephants in the room. First of all, Liverpool playing right now. My favorite, I'm doing the wrong side, favorite soccer team playing the biggest match of the year. I have a significant amount of money on them to win at plus 240. They're playing right now. Game just started. So I might be, if I react to something randomly, you guys know what it is. So we hope
early for the Red
that
Sox,
goes
right?
well. Yeah, too early for the Red Sox. That's the night game tonight, but we'll talk about them later. But shout out to everyone else watching the show. Brian Watson, appreciate you. Jiggy Reese, my guy, shout out to you. Nate Dogg, Amsterdam, what else? Nate Dogg, Ron Loftus, Sammy Colmer, one of the best NBA cappers I know. NBA playoffs starting soon. Not a good time for your 76ers, Andrew, but we don't have to talk about them today. Appreciate you. Bobby Boucher, shout out to you. Big Show Picks, Bucket Hat, Max, great name. Ron Lofton, Moose Money. Did it, Moose. Shout out to you, Moose. Tony Cobb, Mike M. Shout out to everyone. Dan Kelly. Is this a Boobs Are Fun video? Did I click the wrong video? No, you're here. Boobs are fun, and we are here to cap baseball too. Mr. MDR24. I was going to call you Mr. Doctor there. Tony Cobb. Shout out to you guys. Dan Bonner. Let's go. He's going Phillies. LFG. Let's go. Teflon Don. Baseball is a marathon, not a sprint, of course. I don't need water yet, though. Let's go, Teflon. We're doing well. Not bad. You can see the record over there, actually, on the screen. 14-7 plus 14 units up on the season. I don't know if they call it lucky, but shout out to No Clean Sheets. I produced that show Friday, soccer show. Gave out to the Blue Jays live on air, actually, on that show. Tweeted it out to plus 800. They come through. That's a part of the reason why I have an inflated record, but it helps. It helps. All right. So, Andrew, let's talk about baseball now on the plays today. I locked in actually 3 plays. I should write down my other one that I do not have locked down yet, or I have locked down, but don't have written down. I've got 3 plays so far. Andrew, we'll go through the card every game, break them down. It's going to be a good time. Some good games in here. Kind of tough card, I think. I think it's been the toughest card so far this season. Bets wise, I think I don't know. Maybe it was me going even yesterday. I forgot the exact count, but I basically split even. I was up barely a unit, just a little over some juice. So an eventful day, a fun day. I mean, maybe I learned yesterday I shouldn't bet on the Red Sox, but we'll talk about that like we said. I've got Cincinnati Reds first 5 plus a half at even money right now. Hunter Green versus Ian Anderson is going to be a fantastic matchup. I can't wait for that. I've got Giants, Marlins, first 5 under 4, plus 100 again. Another pitching battle. I like that. And I've got the Baltimore Orioles. I told people throughout the season, or I guess throughout the show so far, that I'm going to bet on the Baltimore Orioles early. I'm not going to bet on them to win the game here, but against Klubot, I am going to bet on their team total. So I took the Baltimore Orioles team total over 3.5 at even money too. Just a coincidence that all my plays right now are even money. I'd like that, but coincidence. Andrew, let's let you talk for a little bit because I've been going here. How are you? How are your Phillies doing so far? They're going to be our first game we talk about. And how's everything going on in Oklahoma over there?
Well, first, everything's going pretty good. Just continuing to finish out this spring season. But listen, the Phillies off to a great start, 2-0. Couldn't ask for anything more. Offense looks good. Obviously, the defensive woes will definitely be there. We'll obviously have to overcome that. But, hey, when you're outscoring the opponent, that's what matters, right?
Yeah, right. And I just looked over at my television screen and I made a face because I just realized Manchester City already scored. It's 1-0. God damn, that sucks. All right, so
That's probably why I don't remember who it was, but said Jose, don't look at the TV. That's probably why.
Yeah. Oh my God, I didn't even realize it. Jesus. All right, so That's tough starts of the day, but we'll forget about it. And by the way, shout out to the Say Hey counter. We on number 4 today. Say Hey number 4. And Andrew, I'll explain that to you and anyone that's not. I've explained it a couple times, but it's still early in the season. And by the way, shout out to my green collar today. I'm looking nice on the green collar. I've signed myself up for 200 plus days of work, going live every day for the baseball season. I appreciate someone shouting out the consistency earlier. That's what we're trying to do here. Consistent, come here every day for you guys. And we're on the 4th show, so we decided to give a Cal Ripken Jr.-esque counter up there, where we've got it pinned up against our wall, what the warehouse, I think that's called. And we're on day 4, and we're going to keep it going. We're going to keep it going, and the streak's not going to get broken until perhaps September. But we won't talk about that soon. All right.
I'm excited. Good for you. Good for you.
Yes. So first game on the docket, your Andrew, Philadelphia Phillies. The Philadelphia Phillies dominating so far. Is it nice to play the Oakland A's as your first opponent? Yes, I'm sure it is. But the lineup is everything we wanted and more. Kyle Schwarber, Andrew. I said it a lot when he was on the Red Sox. More jacked up than watching Kyle Schwarber taking walks. He goes 0 for 2 walks yesterday. And of course, Nick Castellanos. I told everyone immediately when he hit the home run, hide your kids, hide your wives. Make sure you tell them you love them, because he hit another home run, and bad things happen when he hits home runs. They do their thing. Hasn't even needed a Bryce Harper show so far, but a great Phillies win. Right now we've got Dalton Jeffries, who is not in my book, rookie, I assume, has not faced anyone on these Phillies, versus Zach Eflin, old friend of yours, Andrew, old friend of yours, a 4.17 ERA, 105 innings pitch. And right now we've got 15 mile per hour wind going left to right. So, Andrew, you've been to the bank once or twice. You know this Phillies squad. Tell me, what are you looking at here? I didn't have any plays just because they're minus 210. A little expensive for the Phillies. I think that line actually jumped up too. I was making the graphics. I put in the graphics the night before, and then I update them the night this morning to kind of see the jump. But I think I did put a big jump for the Phillies this morning.
Yeah, I see it at minus 225 this morning, which, like you said, is obviously very expensive. It's probably, especially in baseball, it's probably not worth it because who knows what happens in baseball. The run line's minus 110 at Phillies minus 1.5. That would be interesting. That's not horrible. I think obviously right now it's tough gauging some of the pitchers' strikeout numbers just because of the shortened spring. Some managers being cautious. You saw that with Nola again pulled after 76 pitches. Gibson got pulled yesterday after 80 pitches. So that's kind of tough to gauge there. I have it at Eflin at 6.5. I don't hate that strikeout number, especially against this A's lineup. So that'd be an interesting. But again, you just gotta be cautious with the way the managers are kind of going out there early this season. I expect. Bryce Harper struggled first 2 games. I don't hate his total bases over 1.5. He's due for something big, a big game here early on, especially with the rest of the guys hitting. I'd see that as a possible play, but I do really like the Phillies over 4.5 total run lines. I think that'd be the play from this game. Just with, again, you're facing a young pitcher who saw very minimal time last year in the major leagues, and a career 5.82 ERA last year. So I expect the Phillies to jump out early on him as well. Plus, the A's already have a shaky bullpen, as a lot of people know, with the moves they've had. So I do like the Phillies over 4.5 at minus 120.
Oh, that's good. That's good. You're getting at minus 130, minus 120, because on Bovada right now it's at minus 135. So a little bit too juicy for me. It's under the 150 that is my max. I think that's my limit on a single bet like that. But I still just I wouldn't say comfortable taking it at that number. I'm trying to avoid those high odds already. Oh, by the way, Liverpool just scored, so we're back, baby. We're back, 1-1. Shout out to Big Show, by the way. I think he just shouted out both teams to score, and that happens immediately. But I don't have anything on this game. Dalton Jeffries was a long reliever turned starter. He had a couple starts, like you said, or had one start, I should say, and then pitched a long relief. So I've got really nothing on this game. That the A's are tanking. I don't think this is a good squad, and I think the Phillies could pop off here. So I like your team total there, over 4.5. Moving on, we're going to one of my bets here: the Baltimore Orioles versus the Tampa Bay Rays. Corey Kluber makes his debut. Andrew, you are a big Corey Kluber guy. I've known you for a while now. We've talked about Corey Kluber for a long time,
Yeah.
because, I don't know if we're calling it a comeback tour, a resurgence, whatever. Goes to the Yankees, was very middling, 100 innings, whatever. 5-3, a 3.80 ERA. Actually, had 80 innings, sorry. So didn't get to the 100 innings. Always hurt. Now on the Rays, and when pitchers go to the Rays, we automatically assume, they did it. The Rays are going to raise. They're going to bring him back, whatever, do his thing. I'm a little, the only my only concern here would be betting on Kluber or betting against Kluber early. He's not tired yet. He's still fresh. So my one concern would be him, coming out of the chute a little pretty successful. But I think this Orioles offense is good enough to get to him. So I did bet that 3.5 at even money. Chris Mullins, Mountcastle, Santander, Mancini, those four batters are. I was talking about the worst offenses in baseball. I think the Pirates and the Guardians are trying to battle that out. And I mentioned the Orioles is, they're a bad team, but they've got a good lineup, man. They've got a good lineup. Odor's in there. He's a walking strikeout, but I believe in Jorge Mateo, Ramon Urias, and Austin Hayes, and on those top four guys to be successful. So I'll take 4 runs here. They probably lose the game outright, but I think that they can scratch across some runs here.
Yeah, I think for Kluber, you have to be careful. He only got 8 innings in a shortened spring already, but that's very minimal innings there for him. And he struggled early on in spring. So, I'd be careful. My thing is, I don't think I can ever trust Baltimore on the other side of things. I think Baltimore is who they are. So, I have a tough time ever trusting a lineup like that, even again, especially on the road, even against a Corey Kluber, like you said, especially going on early in the year with the way they always like to manage the starters, and we've seen them obviously take out pitchers after 5 innings in big games, and that bullpen's usually on the more dominant side of things. So I'd be careful with Baltimore plays.
And by the way, Drew Rasmussen last night, he goes longer than we expected. Me and the Spin Doctor last night, shout out to him. I kind of thought that he was going to go 1, maybe 2. He goes, I think 3, ends up going 3 or 4 innings. So and maybe they'll do Corey Kluber here, just 1-2 innings. So I'm not 100% sure. I don't think that the opener is going to be a thing anymore with those minor league option limits. So we'll see what they do. But I do think the Orioles do get some runs here. And Dan Kelly also shining out a yes run scored in the first inning. I don't hate that at all as well. So I like that. Let's keep moving, Andrew. Let's keep this brisk pace going. I like what we're doing here. I like what we're moving and shaking. Next, the Chicago White Sox versus the Detroit Tigers. The Detroit Tigers. The Michael Kopech and Tariq Skubal show here. I like both of these pitchers here. 2 former top prospects. We all remember Michael Kopech, former Red Sox prospect, super reliever, mega reliever, now going into the starting rotation, as he was kind of always expected to gas. So it'll be fun to see it come out of the starting rotation. Skubal needs to have a good season here. He's one of the 2 guys, Mize and Skubal, that the Tigers are really relying on to have a good year and to potentially give him that dark horse candidacy, like you said, Andrew, in our preseason prediction. You have actually the Tigers to win this division. So this will be an interesting matchup for you right now. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, it's 1-1 series. So this is, I guess, the rubber match here, and it'll set a good tone. It'll set a good tone for the series. Tim Anderson making his season debut. So he got a 2-game sussy for giving a little to an umpire, a little shove. But I think this White Sox lineup is going to be going to be tough today. I think Tim Anderson does bring something to this lineup that I didn't have before. I was trying to find actually Tim Anderson props. I've gone 0 for 2 this year on props, and in my 7 losses, like I said, I think 2-3 of those are total bases and K props. So I'm like, maybe I should lay off the props. But I was looking for Tim Anderson props today. I'm gonna refresh my page on Bovada to double check and see, but I have not seen him yet. So maybe that's just a sign. Another stay off game for me. I honestly, I'd consider taking the White Sox at minus 125, but as I previously said, I'm trying to keep the juice down, trying to keep that low. And I'll only bet those minus 125s if I'm doing like a no run in the first inning, which kind of sounds counterproductive. But, it's like a Band-Aid. Just rip it off and see what happens. Andrew, do you have anything on this one?
Yeah, I like the player props in this one with Tim Anderson. He's 5 of 10 off Scooble with all 5 hits being extra base hits. So I do like the total bases over 1.5 for him. Jose Abreu, another big guy to watch in that White Sox lineup. He's also 5 hits off of Scooble with 3 RBIs. So I like those 2 players, possible over bases. Obviously, depending on what the odds are, like you said, you do want to be careful with that. So that's the major thing to be concerned with. But I think this White Sox lineup is going to get to Detroit today. Again, I think especially, you mentioned it, Tim Anderson making his debut, coming off the suspension. I think he's set up for a big day. So I'd really look at some Tim Anderson props if your source has them.
Yeah, so here's the thing that's a good reminder, and shout out to Jamal Martin. Remember, the White Sox love hitting lefties, man, and this is a good lefty in Scooble. They're one of the best teams at hitting lefties. If I'll take a second to look up their team splits versus lefties, but I do think that that's a good look here with the White Sox. Career wise, also not many of these Tigers have faced Kopech. Jaime Candelario. Jaime? I don't know what his first name. Candelario we'll just stick with. 1 for 6 with a home run, 3 Ks. Torkelson obviously doesn't have one. Tucker Barnhart is 0 for 1 K, 0 for 2 for Victor Reyes. And Robbie Grossman apparently is in the book too, but doesn't have a registered at bat. So I just think that this Tigers or this White Sox squad does seem like it's all signs pointing to them. And maybe by the end of the show, I wouldn't be surprised if I ended up making it an official play. But I kind of want to see what Kopech does too, because I do kind of have some worries, I guess. I don't know if I should be too worried about Kopech, but I just need to see it first. I want to see if he can put together some starts and all that good stuff. So stay off game for me so far, but we'll see.
You mentioned liking the White Sox overall, but you didn't like that numbers there. But would you do minus 1.5 at plus 130?
No, I don't like those run lines. I'm trying to stay away from run lines too. I have not bet one this year, and if I'm going to bet one, it's going to be later on in the season. When like a team like the Orioles, Guardians, Oakland, all those teams start getting, they start bringing like the young guys and start circling in, and obviously start tanking after trades off stuff. By the way, Ron Lofton took Anderson over 1.5 bases at plus 105. I like that. I do like that a lot.
That's really good odds for that. I definitely would take that.
Ron, I like that a lot. I'm going to write that down just to keep an eye on that. I'm not going to make that official because I don't have that number and I'm not betting it, but I like that a lot for over 1.5 bases at plus 105 there. All right, so I think we can move on from this game. I like the White Sox, and I'll move on. Yes, and by the way, Ronald G said no run lines or totals. Yes, I've been sticking to money lines and first 5 totals, if anything, I do. So we'll start expanding the repertoire a little bit, Ron. Don't you worry. I saw a lot of totals move around last night to this morning, and it made me feel pretty good about betting some. So maybe we'll stick a toe in there tomorrow. Who knows? Next game, the New York Metropolitans versus the Washington Nationals. Like the Nationals uniforms last night, the cherry blossoms, but it didn't bring them anything as the Mets gave them the old and gave him the beat down. Chris Bassett, great outing for him. You can't really say much about the Nationals. It kind of was the perfect Nationals game for them. I mean, you lose, but Juan Soto at least gets 2 hits, does his thing. And that's kind of what the Nationals are. So going forward, I wouldn't be surprised if this happens again. On the mound today, we've got Cookie Carrasco. Shout out to him. Venezuelan, comes back from cancer. It's been this is his second year off of it. So feel much better about betting him if I was going to here, not going to at a -140. Eric Fetty on the other side, I have never liked betting Eric Fetty. Never liked watching Eric Fetty, I should say. So I'm not going to take him here. Basically, the same lineups for both teams. We've got obviously Keybird on the other side for the Nationals, Juan Soto, Cruz, Josh Bell, all those guys, and then a bunch of people that we won't know about and probably won't be on the team throughout the year. Nimmo, Marte, Lindor, Alonso, Cano, Eddie Escobar, Canna, McNeil, and McCann for the Metropolitans. A good lineup, but -140 can't do it. Over under 9.5. I'd lean over too. But I just don't. I don't feel like I have confidence enough to take anything on this side. And Mets, I just saw a comment, B Lab 69 saying, "Don't like Carrasco as a Mets fan." I don't think you've really had a reason to like Carrasco as a Mets fan. So I definitely understand. Has not really been healthy. Has not been stellar since his I should say Indians days. That's how far back he goes. So far that the team was named the Indians. But the Guardians and Cleveland. So I don't blame you there. But he was a good pitcher, and let's see if he can bring that back. Andrew, anything on this game?
No, I'd be cautious with this as well because it's the way how slow of a start the Nationals are playing. Even the over under you mentioned, I'd just be worried of like a 7-1 type game, 8-1 type game because you just don't know what you're getting out of this Washington offense just yet. But here's the thing. I mean, obviously depends on what Carrasco does as well. I mean, I think the Mets are going to get the Fetty. It's more of is that Washington lineup going to be able to get to Carrasco? And the problem here is, I mean, they still have hitters. I mean, you mentioned Soto. We'll see if Cruz kind of gets back to what we've seen in the past. And Josh Bell's not a bad hitter either. So this could lean one way, but I do like the Mets in this game overall.
Yeah, and I mean that's the easy thing to say. Obviously, Mets favorite. I mean, we're not reinventing the wheel here. Is what we're trying to say. So, Mets favorite here. Mets should win. Maybe look at a peek at a no-run first inning if you can stomach Eric Fetty, but not for me, not today. And we'll just keep moving on. We'll just keep moving on. Next game. By the way, I feel like I skipped a game, huh? It seems like
No?
I didn't make I didn't make graphics for a certain game, so that's funny. I'll make them and we'll talk about it. You guys won't know because I know, but we'll talk about this next game. The Rangers versus the Toronto Blue Jays. Again, shout out to the Blue Jays for coming back in that baseball game. We appreciate them. Spencer Howard, old friend of Andrews, old friend of yours. You've got some knowledge about Spencer Howard versus Hyunjin Ryu, who good early on in the season. Good early on in the season. We'll see how he progresses throughout the year. I would think they give him a pitch limit and an innings limit to try to keep him fresh, because they obviously have goals and aspirations for October, and they'll need him then. -215, +175, pretty appropriately priced here. Over under 9.5. Best part about this series so far, honestly, has been the Toronto crowd. The Blue Jays crowd has been into it. It's been awesome to see. Andrew, I've got nothing on this game, but you let me know. Can you find it? It seems like you've been digging in this player prop market, which I like. I like player prop, Andrew. So what do you got on this one?
Spencer Howard's a guy that struggles early on. You kind of know what you're going to get out of him from what you see early on. He's not a guy that's probably going to go deep in the game. If not, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised even if the Rangers just kind of use him as a 2-3 inning opener type pitcher. I will see what their plan is with him. But I think one overall, I'd like Toronto to complete the sweep. And then I'd take I'd expect Vlad and Bo to kind of continue the way they started the season against a guy like Howard. So, I mean, look at their player props there. Definitely like they're over 1.5 bases in this game. So I think that's a key number to look at here.
Hey, I don't like that, or I don't hate that at all. I mean, like I said, I bet Cole Tucker's player proper over bases. And he has, I think he went over in his opening day. And then, of course, since then, he's been dominating, one of my low key MVP picks. I don't think he's going to win it actually because of Otani, but I think he'll be up there. I know this will be a fun game to watch. According to RotoWire, I don't think confirmed lineups are out yet for this game. I'll double check, or if someone can double check in the chat,
Yeah.
I'd greatly appreciate it. Marcus Semien. So is Marcus Semien leading off? Because right now I wrote down Marcus Semien, Corey Seager as the 1-2, and I was a little confused about that.
He is leading off. It's Semien and Corey Seager, and then Mitch Garver.
Yeah, so yeah, that'll be a fun top three, and I think they're obviously moving them up in the lineup so they can try to get them more at bats. That's how that operates. So that'll be a fun game to watch. Maybe you look a little player props there, and I think Blue Jays fans everywhere will keep a close eye on Hyunjin Ryu. And I need to look up real quick his K prop. I would look towards the under his K prop. Right now, I don't think Bovada has them up, but he's not a strikeout guy. I wouldn't be surprised if it was super low even then. But I would look towards that because I think that the Rangers could at least put the ball in play against him. But
do you like any of the team overs? Rangers at over 3.5 and Blue Jays at over 5.5.
Let's look at the prices for that. I mean, I could see a team total for the Rangers. If it's I'm not gonna look at it yet. If it was under like minus 115 for a 3.5, then I would take it. Right now, team total is 3.5 minus 120. So that's borderline. So I wouldn't hate that at all. All the games so far have been pretty high scoring. And, once, let's say, I would say best case scenario for you, if you do take the 3.5, whoever wants this hypothetical person, is the Rangers go down early. They go down early, like let's say 8-0, whatever, and they just the Blue Jays starting pitchers just start trying to throw strikes, whatever, and hopefully the Rangers can chip away, get a 4 spot in there, and come away with an 8-4 loss. But that would be what I would look at there. I don't hate that at all at minus 120, but it'll be fun. Andrew, do you have anything in this game?
No, I would honestly. But just because of the odds, I got at plus 104. I get it's a high number, but I would consider the over 5.5 for the Blue Jays just because of the way they've come out of the gate. Again, I don't trust Spencer Howard, and even if they do one of those opener type things, I do not trust the Texas Ranger bullpen. So if you got it at around plus 104, 105, and that good of odds, I consider the over 5.5 for the Blue Jays without question.
Okay, beautiful. All right, moving on. The aforementioned Cleveland Guardians, which I guess their name's starting to get a little hate around here. Let's see in the chat.
I don't hate it, to be honest.
Not liking the name, which is understandable. It's not my favorite thing, but I think it's much harder to memorize, like the San Diego Chargers moving to LA. I call the San Diego Chargers the San Diego Chargers still. So I think the Guardians a little easier to remember just personally, but that doesn't matter. I still think it's a weird name. Cleveland Guardians versus the Kansas City Royals. Low key, one of the most fun series to watch this I guess opening weekend. I took the Guardians yesterday. They lose 1-0. Brad Keller. Shout out to Brad Keller. I thought he was going to be hot dog water, and he goes out there and shoves. Was it a product of the Cleveland Guardians offense being potentially the worst in baseball? Maybe, probably, but I will ask him to do it again in his next start because I'll probably fade him again and see what happens. A 1-0 loss, I don't really feel bad about. I still felt great about the bet. Cal Quantrill today versus the Boob Man, Chris Bubich. Gonna be interesting here. Deacon Mike already throwing out this stat here. The wind blowing out, 15 miles per hour wind out, and KC leaning over here, obviously leaning over 7.5. I just can't, I can't bet the total yet. I mean, maybe Deacon, if you say something nice to me, I'll consider it. But right now, I just looked at Bovada, and actually, it's even moved up to 9. It's at 9 minus 110 now, so not even an 8.5 available still. So might have missed it at the 8.5 there. So I think I'll have to sit out. But Andrew, anything standing out for you here?
The guy here, the player to watch here would be your old friend, Andrew Benintendi.
Yeah.
off Quintrell, 5 of 10, 2 extra base hits, a home run. So another guy to look for here. Might have a big day for Kansas City. A guy that sees this pitcher pretty well. Batting third in the lineup, right behind Whit Merrifield and Bobby Witt Jr. So a guy might have a chance for an RBI play there. You might have a chance for over 1.5 total bases again. So I do like Andrew Benintendi to have a big day today.
Yeah, he's been on fire to start the season. Talking to one of my Royals fans' friends, he's just been ripping the cover off the ball. He saw the ball really well against Plesac, and I try to make that a note, like, wow, he's just really seeing the ball for next time when they face each other. Probably take some Andrew Benintendi props. I do like that a lot. I don't, and I also don't hate. I saw, man, I think it was Snizzle put in there the team total for the Kansas City Royals. I'm looking for it right now just to see what kind of odds we're getting. 3.5 minus 184, and at 4 minus 145, and a 4.5 and minus 105. I don't hate taking the over here, especially after they do take that 1-0 and the wind blowing out. I don't hate that at all. I don't like the Guardians offense, obviously. So if you eliminate it, 4.5 for the Royals. I don't hate that at all. I'm gonna write a star next to that, Ixnizzle, and I will consider that for the Kansas City Royals. That's a good number too. You can get it at minus 105 for 4.5. I have not bet a 4.5 this year, I believe. So that might be my first one. I've been staying to the 3.5s, but you gotta bet them eventually. All right.
Sure.
Yeah, right. So you had nothing on this one, Andrew?
No, I didn't have any locks, but I definitely highly look at Andrew Benintendi for him to have a big day. So if you like any of the odds with his player props, definitely take that.
Okay. All right, Andrew. Apparently, the StreamYard's having a little issue with trying to load this new graphic, so we're just gonna do this without graphics here under the regular graphic. One of my other plays, I skipped over on an accident. My favorite pitching matchup, actually, so I obviously want to talk about it for the day. It's going to be Hunter Green and the the Cincinnati Reds versus the Atlanta Braves. They were defending world champion. Andrew, by the way, I was taught that by Peter Loshak. Shout out to Pete, wherever you are. If you just to make a pause between your sentences, you add that dramaticness, it feels good. So whenever you say it, it's the Atlanta Braves. Very good. Very nice. So Hunter Green versus Ian Anderson. I talk about Hunter Green because he's one of the best prospects in baseball. He throws gas. He'll be one of the hardest throwers in baseball. I think he probably will be the hardest thrower in baseball, touching to 103 to 104. I cannot wait to watch him pitch. Filthy pitcher. I obviously rookie, first start in the show, I believe. So needs to come out here and do well, and obviously is going to have a hell of a task in front of him. Ian Anderson and the defending world champions, Eddie Rosario, Matt Olson, Austin Riley, Ozuna, Albies, Dickerson, Darno, and Swanson. Obviously, great lineup. Crumb, actually, shout out to you. You got to another bet that I was looking at, and I debating, wanted to see if anyone in the chat made official or mentioned, I should say. And it's the no run in the first inning at minus 125. I think I like that play today. You guys know I don't like taking the minus 125s, but I think I am going to make that an official play and take the no run there, minus 125. I love the smash and grab kind of feel of a no run in the first inning. Both pitchers are elite. And I think in your first start, he's going to be especially amped in the first inning. So my only concern would be walks, but I think he'll come out there and we'll blow a 103 on the radar gun, and it'll blow some people away like Matt Olson, Austin Riley, Eddie Rosario. Hopefully a quick 1-2-3 for those guys. So I'm officially going to lock in no run first inning in Cincinnati, Atlanta, minus 125 on our friends at Bovada.
Well, I think that's your biggest concern with young pitchers. It's usually you usually get lights out stuff, or you're gonna get a blow up kind of game. So I think that's the tough part when you're picking for a rookie in his first game of his career.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that he has the Steven Strasburg type. I should say the Steven Strasburg first start compared to a Casey Mize first start. That's what we'll be looking for there. So no run first inning in Cincy, Atlanta. I'm very excited for that game now. And I also have Cincinnati first 5 plus a half at even money. Mentioned that at the top of the show. I think Cincinnati can scratch across a run or two against these Reds, and I believe in the Reds offense a little bit, and I think Hunter Green will start off hot. And by the way, I wanted to mention this. I was thinking this last night, and I forgot to say this on the show. Early on, an observation, because I have watched, I think, every game so far. Not every inning, but I have watched almost every game, at least parts of it. It seems as if, the good to decent pitchers are starting off strong. You get 1, 2, 3 good innings, but then once you get to the fourth inning, that up down, the fourth up down, and we can talk to my guy Dabby Cab, who starting pitcher we all know. It's not the process of throwing the pitches that is really like taxing for pitchers. It's you throw the pitches, you get out of the inning, you sit down, you cool off, you get all that stuff, and then you got to go back out, get up again, get hot. That process of going up and down and getting hot again, it gets taxing after that. So I think I will take that into account as well. I think if Hunter Green does start to fade, and if Ian Anderson does start to fade, it will be around the fourth inning. So I will be interested to see. By the way, 2-1 Manchester City. Damn it. Damn it. So I do think in the fourth inning they will fade a little bit, and I will be interesting. That'll be interesting. And Jake Burns, does that counter mean Jose have 4 say hey plays today? No, that means that this is the 4th consecutive show that we are here doing it live. It is a Cal Ripken Jr. thing as a consecutive game streak. We're doing consecutive show streak, Jake. But I do like that idea. That would have been funny if I did that. But I do have 4 plays, so just a coincidence. Just a coincidence. And yes, we will review. We will review here soon. All right, next game. Where were we? Seattle, Minnesota. Marco Gonzalez versus Bailey Ober. I was really disappointed in the price on this one. Really disappointed. I wanted to see a less of odds or a little shorter price for the Twins and Bailey Ober. I wanted to bet them today. -140, just too much for me. So I had to pass here, unfortunately. I do think the Twins win today. The Cardiac Mariners have strict them twice. I bet on the Mariners twice, and I just don't like Marco Gonzalez, honestly. He's just not my guy. I don't think he's a very good to great pitcher. He's got a good changeup, that's kind of what he's known for. And the changeup, when used effectively, is the best pitch in baseball. That's why everyone loves Devin Williams too, and all those guys. You get it, and you just start throwing it like that, and you're good. So I believe it. I believe in that. And right now, lineups for both squad will include both bangers, and I can't wait to watch this. Andrew, you saw the Byron Buxton homer that gave the Twins the lead. A great home run, an excellent shot, a shot that I was going to lose my bet there, and I was just laughing. I was like, holy cow. I was not mad at all. I just thought Byron Buxton just crushed that ball, and it was like 101 in his eyes too. So a great shot there. But Frazier gets the game winning hit, I believe. I forgot. No, it was tying, and then Ty France gives the Mariners the lead to win the game. Like I said, I'm leaning Twins. I would rather not bet them at -140, but I will continue to move on with them. And by the way, let's give the chat a quick shout out real quick. Appreciate you guys for watching, 130-ish people. Drop a like, please. That helps us out. Get us in the algorithm. We'd love that. Rodney Barton, let's have a winning day. Appreciate you. Chef Big Hat. I miss when Jose was making picks with a magic 8-ball in his mom's bedroom. I miss that too. It's the same thing. Derek Potta, shout out to you, my man. No clean sheets watcher. Go Man City. That hurts my feelings, but it didn't hurt me as much as Messi leaving Barcelona hurt you. So appreciate that. Jake Burns, like we said, shout out to you, Moses Moody, as I call him Moses Moody every time, and it's Moose Money. So shout out to you, Brian, Deacon, Ick. Appreciate you guys. Dan, Kelly, all of that too. And by the way, Dan, bring up a good point. You got to respect my humility comparing myself to Cal Ripken Jr. Pat on my back just to shoot low, Andrew. Just a pat on my back. Andrew, anything for you in this game?
I like the over. I don't think you know what you're gonna get out of Ober there, and I'm like you said, I'm not a big Gonzalez guy either. So, and I'm waiting for this Twins offense to have a really big day. I mean, there's a lot of names in that offense. I think they could be that day, the final game of a series. You know, they need to get that first win. And again, I don't like either pitcher. The Mariners offense, especially at the top there. And I mean, Ty France has got off to a great start. Winker's got off to a good start. So I don't hate the over 8.5 minus 115. So I definitely that's the one I look for in this game.
Okay. Minus 120, so a little juicy there, but I do like that. I would, if I'm going to bet a total, it would be an 8.5. I would rather do that obviously than a 9.5, 10, and like 11 and 12 in Coors. So I don't hate that at all. And by the way, Deacon Mike just giving me a shot. I'm not tall enough to compare myself to Cal. My 5'8" to 5'9" stature is not impressive, but me and Cal are best buddies. You know, I'm actually going to have the same head of hair he is soon, so I'm not excited for that. I would my lean here as well. I do want to look at Carlos Correa props too. He's been a little quiet, a little too quiet for me. I think Carlos Correa could bounce back here. I'm looking at his stats now against Marco. Doesn't even have success against Marco Gonzalez. 17 plate appearances, 14 registered at bats. So 2 hits, 4 Ks, and a 143 average. He's been quiet, and I just think, I think it's time for him to bounce back. A lean there, nothing official, obviously. The numbers won't back it up, so I'm not going to make it an official play. But just keep an eye out for Carlos Correa today because too quiet. Think he makes an impact, and I believe in Bailey Ober. I think Bailey Ober is going to be a bet-on pitcher this year. So if he has a bad start today and the price drops on him next week, whenever he pitches, I'd hate to see it because I want to bet on him. So we'll see how it goes today. And I like the Mariners squad, so I don't hate it at all. Next game, let's keep it moving, Andrew. Brisk pace here. Pittsburgh Pirates, St. Louis Cardinals, minus 210 for these St. Louis Cardinals. Woo! Versus the lowly Pirates, a high number for the Pirates, or for the Cardinals, I should say. Steven Matz making his debut. This is probably more Pirates related than it is Cardinals related. Nolan Arenado, one of your favorite players. I know that, Andrew.
Yeah, absolutely.
4 for 4 yesterday. 4 for 4, something light. Great day for Nolan. MVP dark horse in the NL, obviously, has had a great start. Home run in first game, 4 for 4, whatever. Honestly, I think I would take the Pirates here. I'm not going to make it official. I like Bryce Wilson, and he's one of my favorite low key pitchers. One of my little pet projects, I'll call it. I don't have enough confidence to bet it. Obviously, I'm a coward. Say whatever you want. I think the Pirates. I don't know if they want to get swept the opening series, and I think Bryce Wilson's a good pitcher. He pitched well when he was in Atlanta in the playoffs with Atlanta. I saw him pitch, and I was like, man, this is a good pitcher. They let him go because Atlanta has an abundance of pitchers. Bryce Wilson gets to start in the rotation here, plus 170. I guess, but Pirates offense not good enough for me to do it. Steven Matz, new location, and I think that the Cardinals offense would just be a little bit too much. Maybe a first 5 look, if anything on this game. But I'm staying off this. I'm not gonna fall into that trap of that big plus money for the Pirates right now to win the first 5 plus 155 and plus a half is plus 110. I'm not gonna do that. But I'm going to keep an eye on it for sure. To watch how my man Bryce Wilson does. What do you think here, Andrew?
I'm going the complete opposite there. I like the Cardinals at minus 1.5. The odds are minus 104, which isn't bad. I'd take that. If you mentioned that the new change and spot for Steven Matz, well, that worked last time. I mean, he was struggling with the Mets. He goes to Toronto, wins 14 games last year, has below a 4 ERA, the best or second best of his career. For a full season. So I'm liking St. Louis. I think Steven Matz goes out and deals today, especially against that Pirates team. And you mentioned the Pirates don't want to get swept opening weekend. Well, nobody does, but it happens every opening weekend. There's always at least one team that gets swept, and this year is going to be the Pirates.
That's yeah. You know what? You're probably right. That's why I'm not making it official. Just a lean. Let's keep moving on because I don't want to do something stupid, and this is a bad game. Milwaukee Brewers versus the Chicago Cubs. Man, the Brewers. What are we doing, Brewers? I don't know what it is. They get beat both opening day game or both 2 games to start this series. Me and the Spin Doctor were on the first 5 money line for the Cubs. Shout out to him. We're on the Brandon Woodruff struggle train there against that umpire, which is hilarious. Shout out to the Spin Doctor, man. I got to give him a round of applause for having the umpire models, all that good stuff, knowing all that stuff. He is great. Follow him at Spin Doc Sports too, man. Great guy, and he'll be on the show a lot. Freddie Peralta versus Marcus Stroman, another excellent pitching matchup. Chef's kiss, just I love it. Cubs, I think, or last night were at a higher plus money pricing. They were plus 120-ish. Now they're at plus 105. I missed out on the number if I was going to bet the Cubs and Marcus Stroman, but Freddie Peralta on the other side, 2 losses for the Brewers. I didn't want to get in front of this. So if the Cubs win again, I'd like to see it. The Cubs are an example of one of those teams, which I don't think are the best, but early on in the season when the fans are there, they have a good atmosphere in Wrigley, a dangerous team. Nothing for me in this game. Going to be a fun pitching matchup, though, with Freddie and Marcus Stroman on the mound. 2 guys that are must-watch TV in themselves.
I agree with you this time. I'd stay away from this one. Yeah, like Marcus Stroman is a really good pitcher. Peralta's a good pitcher. So this is good. It seems like another pitcher's duel on paper. Like you think the Brewers wouldn't get swept, but it is in Chicago. And again, Stroman's not a pitcher to joke around about. So I could see the Cubs pulling off this win and completing the sweep. So no, just like you, I'd stay away from this one.
So Deacon, Cubs guy, obviously. Cubs sweep, then reality sets in, and it's downhill from there. I love that, Deacon. That's hilarious. Deacon, also, if you could give us that win situation, because it did remind us when ripping out to left in St. Louis. RotoWire obviously has their win, but I would rather Deacon know. Deacon can step outside, just go and give us the reading for the win situation. So, and by the way, he says a crosswind slightly left at 15 miles per hour. I don't want to bet the under 3.5. It would be a dicey proposition here. Both these pitchers are great. It's 3.5 at minus 105 for the first 5 under. More of a fun game to watch than a game that I'd rather bet on. And I will say this. A funny story. I do have a friend who potentially will be on the show this year, and I'm very excited for him to make his Pub Sports Radio and content debut. Doesn't do content, just a low-key gambling guy in the Appalachian Mountains that I love. He accidentally bet $125 on the Cubs team total over because he forgot to put the decimal point on. He was going to do 1250. And then did 125. So he is now a gigantic Cubs fan, and I think it is the funniest thing ever. There's no cash out option on futures too, so he got screwed there. So huge Cub guy. I hope the Cubs cash for him just because of that. But I'm gonna pass on this game, as Lucius Fox says. We're taking the backwoods and taking this game out. Andrew, anything here?
No, the only thing I'm interested to see what you would say. Because it is plus odds at plus 102. We talked about how good of a pitching match it is. Would you ever consider the under 7.5?
Yeah. I mean, for sure, I would definitely consider.
4-2 game.
Yeah. I mean, this would be the game. The crosswind too, like Deacon said. That's fucking up the batters and the ball dancing around. Marcus Stroman is one of those guys. Everything he throws moves. He'll have his little 2-seam, his little cutter. He'll throw the little curveball, little slide pitch. Just everything he moves, dances and moves. He'll switch up his rhythm too. Just trying to fuck up the batter. And that win's going to help. And on top of that, pitching in a new location. The fans, I think probably Seiya Suzuki was their best signing of the offseason, but the one that got the fans most excited was Marcus Stroman. And I think that the fans will be there for Stroman. So I definitely would lean to the under, first 5 under, and the Cubs here, honestly. But I'm just going to pass for me. And I think Turnsey, by the way, asked what the record was. right up there again for you, Turnsy. 14-7, 14 units. Not a big deal. Pretty good start of the season. Pretty good. Andrew, we're going to keep moving on here. Is that all right with you here? Nothing for you?
Sounds good. Nothing.
All right. Los Dodgers versus the Colorado Rockies. Obviously, big favorites, minus 196. Julio Urias versus Antonio Senzatella. Shout out to Bobano and his Italian accent. 11.5 because we're at Coors Field, obviously. Be excited to watch Urias pitch today. He is a obvious dark horse, NL Cy Young candidate if he gets the innings. Great pitcher. Will be fun to watch. Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Max Muncy, Trey Turner, Justin Turner, Will Smith, Cody Bellinger, Chris Taylor, Gavin Lux. It is a stacked lineup. By the way, Diesel wants to run back real quick. How about the no-run first inning in that game? It's Absolutely. At minus 150. It's at minus 150. So I can't bet that, unfortunately, Diesel. But there will be no run in the first inning. So maybe you do want to bet it, I guess. So that lineup, by the way, the Dodgers, just ridiculous. I said it out loud just because you need to say it out loud every once in a while to remind yourself of how great it is. Rockies, Blackman, Brendan Rodgers, shout out to him, coaching Leicester City too. So if you soccer heads out there, if you know, you know. Chris Bryant, CJ Crone, Randall Gridrick, Ryan McMahon, Elias Diaz, Connor Joe, not in my book, and Jose Iglesias. Andrew, do you want to take a shot here with the Rockies? Antonio, anything for you here? I think I'm staying off this wholeheartedly.
I would look at some player props in this game. It's been a while since I've said that. Last few games I haven't. But Mookie Betts, 6 of 14 off him. 3 extra base hits, 3 RBIs, 2 home runs. And again, obviously with a more stacked lineup, we're going to have a lot more RBI chances there. Again, a lot of extra base hits off this pitcher. So I'd say consider him. The Rockies have also hit Julio Urias pretty well. Charlie Blackmon, 7 of 20, 3 extra base hits. CJ Crone, 3 extra base hits as well. So a couple numbers there. You could obviously get that high scoring game as we talked about the over-under being 11.5. But I look, this is a player prop type game for me. Look at a couple different options on both teams.
Yeah, there's definitely familiarity with this Rockies team and Urias. 141 plate appearances for this squad. Charlie Blackmon hitting 350 against him, and I don't hate that. Does not have a home run against him. Maybe he's due for a home run there. And Senzatella, of course, has familiarity with this Dodgers squad. So familiar foes, nothing I'm betting here, but will be a fun game to check in on and see how it goes. My next game is a game that I've bet on finally. I don't like passing on all these games, but we got to stay tight. I want to actually give you guys bets that I'm making, not just some random nonsense that I'm just giving out. Next, the Miami Marlins versus the San Francisco Giants. A fun series to watch. A really, really fun series to watch. Both games super tight. Trevor Rogers now on the bump versus Antonio Desclafani. I like the Italians today, back to back. I didn't even mean to do that. Plus 105 for the Marlins, minus 125 for the Giants, 7.5 total. I took the first 5 under here. Let me double check. First 5 under 4. I got it last night at even money. I will double check to see if that is available right now, because my guess with the 3 or the 7.5, it would move to like 3.5. No, it's still at 4. Still at 4. Let me refresh too. But I do like both these pitchers. The Giants are seemingly becoming one of those franchises that can revive older pitchers or find a way to use pitchers. Your old friend Gabe Kapler, I believe NL Manager of the Year last year.
Love the guy.
Phillies fired him for what reason again, Andrew?
No reason.
Okay, so they fired him for no reason. He goes to San Francisco, dominates. He uses all of his analytics, does his thing. I think that both these starters have a good start. I will take the first 5 under 4 plus money. Like I said, even money. Moose Money has the under 8 at minus 120. I don't hate that at all. Andrew, what about you? Anything here?
No, I agree with those you said. I think it's going to be a pitching matchup side. I look at the unders there. I look at no run first inning as well, depending on what those look like. And I mean, Giants playing a bigger park as well, so that definitely helps the pitching matchup as well there. But no, this has been a great series to watch, and hopefully the Giants continue to, or hopefully the Giants pull off this last game.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the Giants as a stone cold under team. Shout out to Nut Flush Allen, who's got us on that. We appreciate that. My prop watch here, I guess, would be Jacob Stallings. Jacob Stallings, 12 plate appearances, 7 hits, 1 home run, 1 strikeout. Don't know what it is. Jacob Stallings can just really see the ball off of him. Looking for his hits over at half hit is at minus 167. So do not hate that. And the total bases prop is not, I should say they have at least total bases, which is not my favorite thing. At least 2 bases at plus 112 for Jacob Stallings. So I like that. So don't hate that at all. Ty Lawrence asked if we're gonna get a best bet period. We'll go through the show. I've got 4 best bets for you, my man. So don't you worry at all. And Jamal Martin, first time money line. Don't hate that either. Next game, we're almost wrapping up here. We've got 3 more games left here. Game that I think I've bet every game in the series so far, and I've actually bet them all correctly, which makes me feel good about myself. Astros, Angels, bet the Astros money line first 2, took Angels money line last night. Don't hit the first 5 over 4.5. I thought that both pitchers would struggle a little more. Verlander, I guess, relative terms, he did struggle. Gave up a home run, got a robbed. Chas McCormick, shout out to you. Mike Trout made sure that he was going to get that home run, which was hilarious. Then he gave us up another one to, I forgot who it was already, but gave up 2, and that proves to be the difference. And Thor, man, Noah Syndergaard looked fantastic. Not expected at all. I thought that if the other 2, I was going to be like, oh, you know what? I'll take my chances with Verlander struggling with the sticky stuff, but definitely more likely that Thor struggles having not pitched in 2 years. And man, it's just, he got out there great, pitched perfectly. Angels bullpen comes and locks it down. Rafael Iglesias does his thing. They get the 2-0 dub. That's the Angels recipe. That's what it is. That's how you become a good baseball team. You sign a good pitcher that no one wants to take a chance on, and you fucking do it. So shout out to the Angels. We'll see if Thor can continue that throughout the year. Obviously, that's the big question. 1 good start. Good job, Thor. But I just need to see it throughout the year and stay healthy, please. As for this game, Urquidy, as I call him, is actually Urquidy. Jose out there is a good pitcher versus the other Jose Suarez. Wow, 3 Jose's in here. This is my game. This is my game.
You gotta do something,
I like
right?
it. I like this game now. I like this game a lot. I'm gonna watch this game close-eyed. No shout out to MLB blackouts, which make me jump through hoops to try to watch the Astros games, which I continue to seemingly bet on throughout this whole year. Urquidy does not have success against these Angels. 38 plate appearances. They have a 350 average against him, which obviously is not good. David Fletcher, 9 at-bats, 5 hits against him, 1 K. Ohtani, 7 at-bats, 2 hits, 1 home run, 1 K. I like leading the over here. I'm not going to bet a side. I think this is a tough game to bet on now. I try to get these burps out. But I think it's a tough game to bet on here. Jose Suarez, great year last year. They need to see it again for the Angels to have any success. So I'm going to pass on this one, my first Astros pass, and I'm going to be glad that I don't have to jump through hoops to try to watch this game. But it will be a fun game. 9.5, a little high for me to bet the over, but that's the way I would lean. Nothing official. Andrew, anything for you here?
No, nothing official. I do agree with you, though. I lean towards the over. You had the 2-0 game yesterday. Astros, obviously, a team looking to bounce back. Or Angels looking to tie the series at 2-2 here today to open the season. So I like the Angels for the game overall. I think they do even up the series. So I'd lean that way as well. Money line's at minus 108. So I would lean toward that. And then, like you said, over the 9.5. But nothing official because 2 solid teams, you really don't know sometimes what they're going to trade value be.
Yes, and I'll say this: Trout hit the home run last night, moon bomb. Watch out for Ohtani tonight. Again, he's one of those guys, a little too quiet, starting the year kind of slow. I think he had 3 Ks last night. One of the Ks was on an inside fastball that was not a strike. But so just watch out for that. And by the way, Moose Money, NordVPN is a good workaround for that blackout. Yeah, I do need to get on the VPN grind. I've been avoiding it. I don't know why. I just need to eventually just do it. And Brian, Brian, you might have to explain how you say your last name. I just want to just keep calling you Brian because there might be another Brian. But Jose versus Jose versus Jose. I like this. I like that matchup. I think the Jose's will win the day in this matchup, though. That's my prediction for this game. Next game, the 13th on the schedule here, the San Diego Padres, the Fathers versus the Diamondbacks. Those snakes, man. We'll see how they do here. Blake Snell makes his debut versus Caleb Smith. I have a very funny Blake Snell picture on my phone. I wish I had it on the screen right now. But a minus 164 Blake Snell against these Diamondbacks. Not my favorite price with Blake Snell. Honestly, I don't like betting on Blake Snell anymore. Ever since that World Series, it has not been the same. Obviously you leave from the Rays and that's the thing. First place in a new location will obviously be a little shaky, but he has dominated this Diamondbacks roster. Christian Walker, for example, 0 for 12. Ketel Marte, 17 at-bats, 2 hits, 1 double, and a home run, 4 Ks. Carson Kelly, 9 at-bats, 3 hits, 2 Ks. Pavin Smith, 0 for 8. Drew Ellis, 0 for 4. A bunch of 0-fers for the rest of them. So, lean Padres here. I don't like anything in this game. Caleb Smith, a guy that just the thought about betting on Caleb Smith makes me want to throw up as Liverpool scores 2-2. Let's fucking go, Liverpool. He's a 5 FIP. They just started the second half too, so let's fucking go. Caleb Smith, 5 FIP. Nothing I want here. This game is kind of gross. I want to see the Padres play a good squad. That's basically what I want to see. So pass here. Be watching Blake Snell to see how he goes. But nothing for me. Andrew, what about you?
For this game, I would stay away. But I think Blake Snell is going to have a pretty good season. I think you're going to start to see it. So this is an intriguing game to watch him, to look forward throughout the year, because I do think if he can get going early, he'll be a guy to kind of make plays on as the season goes on. But today, I think I'd stay away, see what kind of game he has, but definitely a guy to look forward to in the future.
Yeah. So let's move on to the last game, the main event on the card. And by the way, Brian, Pocone. So there you go, Brian. Shout out to you, my man. I'll try to keep that in mind. I keep calling Moses Money over there, Moose Money, Moses Moody, who knows? So I am not great with names, but I appreciate you guys for watching. Shout out to the 136 people watching throughout the show as we get to the last game on the card, the main event, the games that I fucking keep losing money on. The Boston Red Sox versus the New York Yankees. I bet the Red Sox twice, money line. Makes me so angry that they keep losing these games. Mike Stanton just dominating the Red Sox, just keeps hitting home runs against the Red Sox. I think in the last 8 games, he has 8 home runs against the Red Sox. So it's sickening. It's absolutely sickening. And here's the fucked up part about it, Andrew. This was the game I circled and said, okay, so the Yankees are probably going to win this game. The Red Sox take the first 2, and they beat Tanner Houck, who has some control issues. Not my favorite pitcher on the staff. I hate pitchers who can't throw strikes. Tanner Houck is, in fact, one of those pitchers who cannot throw strikes. So I need to see it here from Tanner. And my guess is, I think early on watching the Red Sox, could definitely be wrong about this, but I'll take my chances of looking dumb here. I think the Red Sox are trying something new with this piggybacking thing. So I'll explain. Nathan Eovaldi goes out. I forgot how many innings he threw. He threw 4 or 5. Then Tanner Houck, Garrett Whitlock comes in. He comes in, and we all expect him to throw 1-2 innings. He goes 4 innings. I think that Alex Cora is going to do the same here. Tanner Houck and Rich Hill. So I think Rich Hill will come into this ball game after Tanner Houck, probably throw 3-4 innings. However many he does to get out of him. So I think you'll see a lot of Tanner Houck and Rich Hill here with the Red Sox bullpen that has not been good. Rich Hill up and down. I like Rich Hill personally, 42, and coming up back after Tanner Houck, the right-handed Chris Sale, will be a change of pace. So it will be interesting. And I don't know if it's just me as a Red Sox fan. I think I have a bias towards Jordan Montgomery. I think he's thrown a couple good games against the Red Sox, but I distinctly remember as well him going out there throwing like 4-5 earned run kind of games. So I have a lot of conflicting feelings. I'm going to stay off this game because I've already lost twice on the Red Sox, and maybe I'm just a biased asshole and I'll bet against the Yankees every single time. So I'll stay off this game. I want to bet the Red Sox super badly at a plus 120, but for my bankroll, I'm not going to do that. Andrew, what about you? What do you think here?
Going back to some player props, I really like Xander Bogaerts to get at least 2 bases at plus 105. I like that. Career 462 hitter off of Montgomery and 26 at bats. So it's not like it's a minimal amount of at bats. He's had a numerous at bats there and still has done very well. Another guy who probably Christian Vasquez, 2 home runs off Montgomery, 18 at bats, 333. If he gets to start, he's a guy to look for. I mean, you look for these good numbers. I do like the overall in the game at 8.5 between these two pitchers. I definitely take that overall for the game. And then so I look at some player props there for the Red Sox side because they've seen a lot of Montgomery before. So look for a day at the plate for the Red Sox.
No, and I side like that because Christian Vasquez makes me want to rip my hair out. One of the most frustrating players ever. Lucius Fox, pretty sure he's a Yankees fan. Sox can't hit, Yankees can. That's the story of the first 2 games. I mean, it has been like that. And something that I hand up, I can clearly admit, Yankees bullpen has been phenomenal. They just roll out any nondescript white guy, and he just throws out there and dominates. It's him. It's nondescript white guy, Johnny Lasagna, Aroldis Chapman. That's what the Yankees been doing, and it's been working. So and by the way, Lucas Fox hates the Yankees. Good. Thank you, Lucius. I thought you were a Yankees fan, so I'm glad you aren't. But it just that's what they've been doing, and it's been working. And maybe it takes a second for the Red Sox backs to heat up. I'm not particularly worried about that, but Red Sox got swept last season, the first series, so I shouldn't be surprised about this. So I honestly I'd lean Yankees, but minus 145 is a stupid price that I would never pay for a team like the Yankees that I just don't believe in. So and it helps too. The main thing, the thing that I hate the most about playing the Yankees in Yankee Stadium is those fucking home runs that they keep getting. 2 unicorn home runs. But Mike Stanton got all of the balls that he hit last night. So shout out to him, I guess. He's just been dominating, and I refuse to call him Giancarlo. So his name will continue to be Mike. And Brian says Red Sox can't get swept, can they? They got swept last year to open the season against the Orioles. So wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised. All right. So that is the entire card broken down for you guys, top to bottom. We had a couple plays for you guys. I think this is the least amount of plays I've had on a card so far. I only have 4. I thought today, like I said, was the toughest card of the year so far, of the short year. I appreciate everyone for watching the 125. Before we get to our best bets, let's get a word from our sponsors real fast, and let's get situated and get these best bets out. Thank you to Southtown 101, our lovely sponsors. Go down there, get your beer, get your drinks, get everything you want down there. It's a great time. Southtown 101. And shout out to Manscaped, promo code Pub Sports. Remember, get that all-in-one package. I believe it's $24 off when you get it with that promo code Pub Sports. Your balls will thank you. The shaver is nice. Don't get it wet. That's what I learned. Don't get it wet, but your balls will thank you. Appreciate everyone watching. Let's do the best bets here. I'm not going to run through every game. That will take a little bit of time. So I will give you guys just my 4 best bets. Cincinnati, first 5 plus a half, even money. I believe in Hunter Green. Think the Reds can scratch across a run against a very good Ian Anderson. Hopefully that Hunter Green does well. San Francisco, Miami, first 5 under 4 plus 100. We've got no run first inning also in Cincinnati, Atlanta, minus 125. Also, Baltimore, team total over 3.5 plus 100, which I think, if I'm looking at my card, honestly, I think that's my favorite play of the day. The Baltimore team total over 3.5 against Kluber. And my last play, I'm fucking doing it, Andrew. I'm taking
There
it.
we go.
Red Sox money line, plus 122. I'm doing it. Who cares? I wanted to win. They're going to win tonight. I bet it already during that ad. I talked myself into it. You know who helped me talk myself into it, actually?
Who's that?
C. James. C. James helped me talk myself into it. Jamal, appreciate you as well. You're going to give him another chance. I'm going to take another chance. And by the way, shout out to Chef Big Hat, John Charles Stanton. Yes. Yes. We need it. And yes, there's some 8-ball energy. We need it. Shake it up. J-Mont gets touched, him and his changeup. They've seen it a bunch of times. I believe in them. They've seen it a bunch of times. Andrew, official plays for you over there?
I'd say I'm going to take some player props. Like I said, I like the Xander Bogaerts plus 105 to get at least 2 bases today. So I take the plus 2 bases there for Xander Bogaerts. He's hit Montgomery well. I think that continues. I take Tim Anderson. He's hit Skubal very well as well. He was plus 2 bases. I take that one as well. And then to the Phillies, I'm going to take Zach Eflin over 5.5 strikeouts. I saw at least 6 strikeouts in that play. Was at plus 110. I think against, again, a struggling A's team, I'm going to take that one as well. So those are my three plays there.
Okay, good. I love that. I love that, Andrew. Thank you very much. And by the way, Tim Anderson, I believe that was at plus 105. And the Zach Eflin, I will line shop for you here in a second. By the way, everyone now on the Red Sox, we're all on the board now. We're all joining. There we go. Chief says he's on the Chicago White Sox, Detroit, first 5 under 5 runs, I believe, under half run. That would be very balls for you, Chief, but I like that. Moose go Red Sox. Turnsy back on the Red Sox. Lucius, the exact appropriate response when I say I'm on the Red Sox. I think that is the exact response. Bruce Hayward, the Red Sox on as well. That, Bruce, that would be really funny if you did the Red Sox and you did 0-2 instead of the 0 there or whatever. That would be really funny. I would get a good chuckle out of that, but that would also hurt my feelings. Brian Picone, appreciate it. Moose got it plus 130. Jake Burns, you like it? First 5? Yes, I would probably like it more than the full game because the Red Sox bullpen has been so shit, and it seems like the Red Sox have scored. Well, it doesn't seem like it. They have scored first in both these games so far, so I like that. Charlie Kelly, special, stepping on it to step in. Yeah, like that. And by the way, Lucius Fox on the Yankees. He was on the Yankees yesterday, and he cashed, no problem. So Lucius might be the sane one of all of us. I hope that you don't cash this one, but all the rest of your bets cash, Lucius. And if it does cash, I hope that you're on the show on Monday talking shit right to my face, Lucius. Hope you are. Appreciate everyone for watching. We've got the game starting here in around 15 minutes, so we timed this out pretty perfectly. Appreciate you, Andrew, for joining me, of course. Where can the people find you at, Andrew? And what are you doing nowadays, huh?
You can find me at AJ_Santangelo is my Twitter. I'm on a couple other podcasts I do. So You Can Think You Manage. If you want to check out Phillies information, go check out that podcast. And then Philly Sports Now, check out all your Philadelphia sports on that as well.
All of your Philadelphia sports, everyone. The Eagles, the 76ers, all of those teams. I cannot wait, Andrew. I cannot wait. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Brian, Bucket Hat, Luchas, everyone, Ed Drake, C. James. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll be back mañana. Of course, guys, hit that counter. That counter is going to go up to number 5 tomorrow. We're going to have a special guest, new Pub Sports Radio guest. His name's Nick Marino. You guys might know him on the Instagram. Famous baseball capper, Vegas capper, great guy. We're going to break down a smaller card because our Monday shows are at 5:30. Remember, everyone, 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 Central for a Monday through Friday show. It's on the bottom of the screen right there. Hit the like on your way out. Appreciate you guys for watching. We will catch you guys on tomorrow. Thanks, guys, and we will see you guys then.